Welcome, nerds, to That Just Happened, the most recent episode of the review show for lazy people. This week's show is Malevolent falling in the Pitt Turnstile. It's a little disjointed, but it makes sense, right? Lady nerds and fellow nerds, you have tuned into the review show that you cannot afford to miss, and I like to call it That Just Happened. It is the review show that is usually late to the party, if it shows up at all. We will probably be talking about that thing that just came out, at least to some respect. We will also very likely be talking about a thing that probably happened 4 years ago, and I just now finally got around to digesting it myself. Either way, it will be a good conversation between old friends. So let's talk about that which has happened. All right, so once again, just a real quick explanation of what the hell That Just Happened is. This is where we talk about things that, we want to review and have conversations about after they've come out. Sometimes a long time after they have come out, because I'm a one-man show and can't get to everything as immediately as it is released. So usually the music stuff, we can get to it pretty quickly, but movies, games, TV shows, etc., sometimes I'm a little behind the eight ball and we just talk about it when we talk about it. So if you enjoy these things, definitely don't forget to subscribe, do the like thing, the bell thing, and the whatever thing. And I appreciate you for doing that. Let's talk about some stuff that has happened for me this week and for you, maybe even. First up, we have the new song from Turnstile as they are ramping up to release their new record. This new song is called Look Out For Me. And honestly, the more I see of these guys, my first exposure, let's back this up a little bit. My first exposure to Turnstile was on the channel on my Sirius satellite radio, Liquid Metal. So it was the aggressive stuff. I have since learned from a friend of mine who is very much into this band that sometimes they're not so aggressive. Sometimes they kind of do this shoegazy stuff that isn't so great. Just kind of is what it is. The more I see of them, the more I see that come out, the more I see them, go through all of the different phases of their sound, the more I believe this is what art school students would define hardcore as. This is like the hardcore music through the lens of an art school student. And sometimes it's not great. This song, it's one of those times I just, it's not bad. It's very well orchestrated, it's very well laid out, and it's really interesting. It definitely keeps my ADHD brain kind of checked in for the extension. I just am not enjoying everything that I'm hearing while I'm checked in for the thing that they're doing. I don't know, it's just, maybe they're just not for me, man. Maybe that's the situation. So yeah, if you're looking for some hardcore from Turnstile, this song, Look Out For Me, is not gonna do it. Maybe steer clear. Let's move on. Next one is a new one from Falling in Reverse. Ronnie Radke has teamed up with Marilyn Manson. The name of the song is God Is a Weapon. Wow. I thought I had checked out of Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke's antics and then the mediocre music. Some of the stuff's great. Some of the stuff I can really get into. Majority of the stuff is very mediocre and it's all right, that's fine, but whatever. And then this happened and I went, that was kind of awesome. Very affecting somehow, just kind of felt it right in the feels. And yeah, I'm kind of here for this Marilyn Manson team up on God As a Weapon. Go check it out. This is definitely a recommend. Even if you hate Ronnie Radke, just experience this song because it is very good. And I didn't think I would ever say that about a Falling in Reverse track. So there's that. And then our next one is Malevolence. Malevolence has released a new track called Salt the Wound. Dude, these cats in Malevolence from the UK doing the hardcore thing, the metalcore kind of melodic stuff in there too. Yes, please, and thank you. Every time they release a new track, I am there for it. I am here for it now with bells on. Another banger from the UK. Malevolence, keep doing what the hell you're doing because it is freaking fantastic. Thank you very much. Go check out the new track, Salt the Wound. It's great. You're going to want to stomp around and throw things, and yeah, just check it out. So from there, we are not going to be talking about The Last of Us this week because Sure. It was another episode. She killed Naomi, but like, oh good God, it was still felt like such a freaking slog. Like, I'm still intrigued because zombies, but man, this story is really trying to kick me out. Anyway, I said we're not going to talk about it, so that's all we're going to say. Let's get into The Pitt. I finished the season. This is the last thing we're talking about for the episode, but I finished the season of The Pitt. The first season, it's 15 hours of medical drama that is so incredibly well executed. Like, it's been our suggestion in the main news show for the last 2 weeks in a row. There's a freaking reason for that because it is so damn good. Again, I said it last time we talked about it. I'm going to say it this time. Noah Wyle is gem. Apparently, he also wrote 2 of the episodes for this show. I don't know exactly how that works on a medical show because I know they have medical consultants, so they can, is this the way something like this would have happened? What are the words here? What's the medication I should use? Because I know Noah Wyle doesn't have his medical degree, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around the idea that they did not film this in 15 hours. It took them quite some time to make this season, but it feels so seamless that each hour, every episode is an hour in a single shift at this emergency room that it's so freaking seamless. It's hard to believe that they did not just film for 15 hours straight and call that good. Like, they just orchestrated it so perfectly that they could do that. Like, that did not happen. But you wouldn't know it to watch the show. Like, it's just great. There is, for those of you out there who are so minded and who are aware of, socially conscious of the things that are going on in the social political realm, there's a little bit of stuff in here that really kind of pulls you out for just a brief moment, but still a moment, pulls you out of the suspension of disbelief and feels like they could have gotten much more preachy than they actually did. But it still has that moment of like, oh, we're watching a TV show. We're not at the emergency room at all. And it's a lot of narrative garbage. They constantly refer to homeless people in the show as unhoused, a term that seems like if you really know people who are in the community, the homeless community, honestly, many of them who are not mentally ill but are still somehow homeless, they either don't remain homeless for very long because they're motivated to get off the street, or they're homeless on purpose. And so to say unhoused infers that they cannot have a house, they cannot have a place of residency, when many of them choose to not have a place of residency. So it's just the little things like that. There's also, what's her name? Dr. Santos, I believe. She feels a little Mary Sue-ish. Like, she definitely, so I wrote that part of my notes before she drops, I'm gonna brain fart words again because that's the way it works. She drops a scalpel. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Drops a scalpel on one of the senior doctor's foot, which is a thing that happens in medical areas. People get stuck with needles that are intended for patients all the time. But up until that point, she really feels a little Mary Sue-ish. The attending over, or not the attending, the resident over her is Dr. Langdon maybe. They say it goofy, and I wasn't reading the subtitles, but he picks on her, but she seems to be invincible up until the point where she drops the scalpel. So it just seemed a little Mary Sue-ish, which, is what it is in a show like this. But the other really big thing that legitimately, and my girlfriend got maybe not really mad, but she was rolling her eyes at me, is in the second to last, maybe the last episode, you have one of the doctors talking to the child of one of their patients who's doing a thing. We're not going to get there because I'm trying to avoid as many spoilers as possible because this is intense, and I feel like if you know what's coming, it kind of lessens the intensity a little bit. And you really deserve the intensity. I think that was well executed. But so one of the doctors talking to the kid of one of the patients, and in her conversation with him, she says a thing that just really, I went, oh, what the hell ever. She says that women It doesn't imply this, but explicitly says that women are scared of 50% of the people they meet on the street. That they are scared every time they see a man. Women are scared of men all the time, according to this show. So thankfully, they saved that for the last little bit of the season, because that honestly might have pulled me out enough that I wouldn't have finished. But since it was so far in, I was like, well, we're already here. Let's just go. And it was, the payoff at the end was still cool. Like, it still felt good by the time you get to the payoff. But that conversation with that kid was ridiculous. So ridiculous, it was recalculous. That was insane. That is an insane proposition that I reject outright. I do not and I will not believe that women are afraid of every man they see. Are they afraid of some men that they randomly see on the street? Sure. Are guys afraid of some men that they randomly see on the street? Abso-freaking-lutely. Is the ratio the same? No, but again, it is not every man that a woman is. That is an insane proposition, and I reject it outright. Anyway, so the show as a whole was freaking fantastic, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. We could go into an episode by episode breakdown, but when you binge, it's kind of hard to separate what happens in which episode. It is very, very graphic, so know that going in, because this is on HBO Max, so they can get away with all of the blood, guts, and fucks that you could imagine actually happen in a real emergency room situation. So know that it is very, very much graphic. It is also very sad and very affecting. If you do not do well with effective dramas, you are going to cry a lot. Like, it definitely brought tears to my eyes a couple of times. It is excellently executed, and I cannot recommend it high enough. But again, that is where we're going to be ending this episode of That Just Happened. So that's the things that happened, I guess. Let's the moving forward. I still have a couple of series that I gotta finish. Suicide Squad Isekai. I'm gonna draw a blank on a couple of the other ones, but we're actively working on that. We'll talk about some new music. No concerts to speak of at the moment, though I do think we're going to be getting our hands on maybe Hard Eyes, maybe Sinners, something. Well, there will be a movie to talk about next week, but I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. What exactly happened for you this week? Let's talk about that down in the comment section. You know, my opinion is my opinion. How do you feel about my opinion? Let's have that conversation down there as well. So yeah, there we go. That is the episode. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things. Share the show with everyone you know, because that is the way that this stuff grows. So if you don't share it, then I can't continue to bring this content that apparently you like because you keep coming back. So thank you very much. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here, and that just happened.